I need this whole dynamic explained to me.
You have opportunities to have a good little hashtag.
Mimi. Hashtag Mimi.
That's not gonna land at all.
Hashtag
all hashtags
Gia.
will be deleted after that.
They're all pretty good. They all really work. Hashtag.
Do they?
Just Ryan.
Just Ryan.
Hashtag Ryan.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So there's a pole. At the bottom of the pole, there's hanging out with your friends and exhibiting emotional intimacy.
Got it.
At the top of the pole, there's cowboy poker.
Okay.
So it's a cowboy spectrum. Where does riding buffalo fall on that?
Pretty high at the top of that spectrum, I would say.
I don't think so, and I'll
No?
tell you why, because Forey said that it's true. They can't buck.
How is he staying on that thing?
Well, he can't buck.
And it's actually much more reasonable to ride than you would think. I think if I had to choose between actually getting, cowboy pokered or try to stay on one of those, I would say it's below halfway.
It feels like riding a buffalo.
Not me. Yeah, I would, but
Yeah, I'm not supposed to drink and ride buffalo. It's a whole thing.
and I think we can do something much more dangerous and foolish.
That's true.
Barrel racer girls are gonna get us killed.
Like, I don't know, fall in love with a barrel racer. I'd say that's much higher on the pole.
Much dangerous. Much more dangerous.
Much dangerous.
Much
That
more
is
dangerous.
Much dangerous.
Much dangerous.
I didn't do my vocal warm up this morning, so I'm a little bit tongue twisted. I'm not able to do it.
We are here among our friends. We are
Emotional
here among
intimacy
our
is
friends.
important.
We are here
Emotional
among our
intimacy is
friends. We are
important.
here
Emotional
among our
intimacy is
friends. We are
important.
here
Emotional
among our friends.
intimacy is
We are here
important.
among our
Emotional
friends.
intimacy
We are
is
here
important.
among our
Emotional
friends.
intimacy is important. Emotional, I got it. I'm good. All right, are we rolling? Let's roll. Great.
What if you're riding a buffalo that's riding a horse? And the horse,
Can the horse buck?
well, that's a great question. He's got a buffalo on his back.
I've done some dumb in my life. This is gonna be dumber.
What's more dangerous than what we've done so far?
Get back before that thing eats somebody.
We've had the bears, we've had the buffalo, we've had the bulls in the pen, we've got the bulls in a bar.
Taylor Sheridan's imagination is darker and stranger and wilder than anything
Yeah.
that we could conceive of. I've learned over and over again.
I'll tell you, you walk into the bathroom of the bunkhouse and there's like an EPT opened box on the side of the sink.
Dang, there's a kid. A kid's on the way?
Like, no. Like, one of them has left a little pregnancy test on.
I didn't even know that was is that a brand of pregnancy
Yes, it
test?
is. How do you not know that? Everybody knows that.
Sorry, I guess I've always been alone. How do I not know that? Because no one will ever love me.
Jesus, man.
Easy answer.
I don't understand.
Yeah, honestly, man, neither do I.
That is shocking to me.
Jake Ream.
All right, boss.
Good to see you.
Didn't think that one was broke, Jake. My God, after a day like today, he is. Yeah, I see that.
Will you tell us the story of when you met Kevin Costner for the first time?
You know, it was Taylor and Kevin came down to the barn, and Kevin came to try a couple different horses out. You know, Taylor was excited to go ride his horse, and, you know, it was all ready for him, and he walks up and he says, Jake, Kevin, Kevin, Jake, and he just walks off. And you know me, I mean, I watched every cowboy movie. I was like, wow, this is freaking cool. You know, this guy's standing in my barn. I was like, that's cool. And he says, so what do you do for a living? I said, well, I train horses, and I do a little bit of farming, and, you know, now, you know, helping you guys out and whatnot. And so we get halfway back in the barn, and, you know, kind of at a pause, I just turned around and I said, so what do you do for a living?
Talk about a moment of joy, a moment that brought you particular joy.
The time that I had a good time was when we turned that bull in the bar. Taylor had called and said, let's get a bull. Well, how mean do you want? So one of them was really mean and one of them was really tame. I went over and kind of prepped it. I'm sitting there thinking, how in the hell am I going to keep a bull in this section without killing somebody? The kid that owns the bar, I went to him and I says, hey, you want to make some money? He says, sure. I says, can I turn a bull in your bar? And he just dropped his jaw. He says, how much money?
Yeah, right? In season 2, we had the cowboy poker scene. And then in this one, we were much more like kind of out at pasture with the cowboy kind of camp. Can you talk a little bit about the difference for you and your team and what you've experienced from season 2 to going into season 3?
A lot more relaxed because I know how it works. It's nice to be able to have a hands-on with the directors to get their vision, you know, because you can't just tell 100 head of cows to go here and to go there and to be out of the frame, and that's been better for me.
We have the one scene chasing these wild horses over the hill.
Taylor and I actually went up there before season 1 had started. Got in the truck and we drove up the top of that hill.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just gonna show you something really cool. I don't know how this Hollywood stuff works, but if you could make this work, this would be cool. It was, what, 2 years later, you know, he called me, he says, hey, do you think we could use that? We didn't have to haul them.
Yeah.
They were used to being there. The ground was beautiful. I mean, I don't know how much prettier view you could have got.
As we learned in season 2 of the show, to not know a horse's name could be considered by some to be bad luck.
Hey, what's this horse's name?
Jimmy, you've been riding this horse for a month. You still don't know his name?
If it's, especially the one that you're on.
I will say that to know a horse's name is utterly impossible.
To know a horse's name is to know the horse.
What's your horse's name?
Is it Owen or Ray, like on season 1?
Cole.
What is it?
It's Ray.
I thought you rode Ray.
Nah, right on.
Cole. Well, I mean, I know that one at least. What's yours? Oh, stop. You just named the entire
literally
age.
what's coming to mind is Jimmy? That's mine.
How many different horses do we have on set?
25.
Really, I would have thought it was double that.
Yeah, there's 25 to 30. A lot of them, you know, a lot of them are doubles, you know, obviously the trick horses.
Would you be interested in acting if it wasn't Western themed and it wasn't livestock based? If it was, let's say, you know, a city drama, like in, you know, something in Manhattan?
Let's pitch him. So you're a young, optimistic lawyer. You just got out of law school. You come from a sort of lower income bracket, so you're excited about making money, but at the same time, you don't want to practice an unethical kind of law, right? It's called, we'll call it sheep law. Sheep law, we haven't figured out this pitch right.
We also never figure right. We didn't figure it out at all.
Would you, but are you in? Can we
You
write?
guys are making me nervous as hell. It's been a good time.
Barrel racers is hands, I'll say that.
Barrel racing is incredible. Barrel racing is a sport utterly unto itself. And as I learn more about rodeo, you also learn how many sports that encompasses, like how many incredibly talented athletes are involved in various rodeo events in various capacities. So I've been really glad to get to know barrel racing as a sport over the course of shooting season 3.
They never would have known.
And it's amazing. It's incredible. Now that I know, it's like I'm obsessed. We were watching, Eden and I would watch videos all the time, like in between takes, we'd watch like amazing runs. As Jimmy and Jeff get to know the rodeo world better, Jimmy gets pulled further and further in this other direction, this other idea of what his life might look like.
Rodeo was supposed to be my way out of the bunkhouse.
For Jimmy, like getting to know this other world where his decisions matter and getting to know this relationship with Mia where she respects the choices that he makes.
The only one that can decide if you're gonna rodeo is you.
I think for the first time he starts to imagine what his life might look like outside the bunkhouse with a little more autonomy, right? Like his basic needs are met for the first time. You know, he's got food to eat and he's got a place to stay.
Right.
And then he's human, so he wants more. He wants someone to love.
Yeah, because that can only sustain you for a moment, and then you're like, okay, now what's the next thing?
Yeah, and
you're not entirely certain, right, that you want to be like Rip or like John.
Jimmy has incredible respect for Rip, but he's also seen Rip inflict terrible violence on other people. There's a lot of what Rip does and what it means to wear the brand that Jimmy's really uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
So this rodeo world, this other life, is a place where he can feel excited and proud and strong without any of the same reservations that he has about wearing the brand and living on the Yellowstone. So it creates this really exciting but also frightening sort of fork in the road.
Rodeo's as bad on relationships as cowboy. Can't be married to two things at the same time, Jimmy.
Between this rodeo lifestyle, Mia traveling the country, competing, winning, feeling that exuberance, or living on the ranch with his family.
Right.
But where he'll always be a soldier.
Now, it does feel like for the first time you have options.
At the end of the day, the highest you can rise, unless you're a Dutton, unless your last name is a Dutton, is you can be a Rip. And we've seen JD choose Casey over Rip time and again.
He's my son.
Right, so how far is that? How high on the...
How far can you go? We've seen people come and go in the bunkhouse. For the most part, the guys who live in the bunkhouse, they don't do super well.
Where are we going?
Train station.
we've seen how far that lifestyle can push you.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You gotta leave your brain out of it. Decide with your heart.